We are voices of the divine. Hearts awake and we don't deny. Truth is calling deep inside. No more fear, no more divide. We've seen the shadows, felt the pain. But we're not here to live in chains. The fire's rising in our soul. There's a higher purpose taking hold. Divine GPMS, feel the call. We rise together and standing tall. This is more than just a name. We are here to spark the flame. Add your energy, take your stand. Then healing flows through every hand. This is how the shift is done. We all unite and rise as one. No more shouting at the pain. We're the ones who bring the change. We're not just seeing what is wrong. We're creating something strong. From the ashes, from the dust, we're creating something built on trust. Every soul that signs their name adds their light into the flame.
It's time for the whole world to unite and stand against the tyranny which is happening worldwide. And let it be known, the Divine GPMS is for everyone. Every nation, every race, every religion, every gender, and every soul.
No matter your past or your path, you are welcome here. We stand for peace, unity, equality, freedom, and love. This is where every voice matters, because every consent carries energy. So if you feel the call, trust it.
Divine GPMS,
Feel the call.
we rise together and standing tall.
Oh, yeah. This is more than just a name.
We are
Here to spark the flame. Add your energy, take your stand. Then the healing flows through every hand. This is how the shift is done. Now ascension has begun. Oh, yes, it has.
Divine-gpms.world is a worldwide cumulative gathering of consents for every child, woman and man to ratify and enact into law worldwide the all-inclusive replacement system of money and law worldwide. As outlined on the consenting website of Divine-gpms.world, it is imperative that all worldwide take a couple of minutes and consent to add your accord, children included.
Greetings to everyone. We are on Divine-gpms.world, the weekly meeting. We are on June 14, 2026, and we have with us Rick Juars, still not in the Rapture event. Rick is still here. And also Agnes Lodi, beautiful guardian from Germany and also Philippines. My name is Beatrice. I'm living in Canada. Hi, Rick. So a little bit about this rapture event that it's also putting a little bit of pressure also on myself, because when you are saying this may be this month a rapture event, then million of the people is like they may fly away in another space, living where there will be the time there. It is like 1 minute or 6 minutes. And in the linear time on the planet, this can be like 1 year or 6 years. But my question is, when these people that they started to be ascended to a level of awakening, if they are living, flying away like a million, and also yourself, what will happen on Earth? Because we need them here for the light, and we need you also here to move GPMS forward as it is. Thank you.
Hi everyone. My internet may be a little unstable, but let's see if we can secure it so you can hear me all right. So far, Sister Beatrice, can you hear me all right if I continue?
Yes, but right now Agnes said that there is no sound. So all the time that I was speaking and playing the video was no sound.
Oh, I had sound, I could hear it, but it was stopped and prolonged. Yeah. Then I even got ejected and come back in. But everyone needs to know the internet worldwide in many places is unstable now, as well as the social medias and the internet, the web as a whole. And it's because of more of the control, if you will, by let's say the darkness in the beast system at maintaining a conformity and obeyance by the people to the system. So having said this, one of the biggest things in any, even what was a worldwide war, but in a spiritual war, is to cut off the communication and separate. And these are typical dark tactics that they use in war. And also, at this time with great profound civil unrest worldwide with the old paradigm of control and their efforts to control humanity and to segregate. These are some of the things that they do. So with this, but also I need to say with this, earlier this week, one of the what you could call spy satellites, or let's say surveillance type satellites, burnt up and came down over California. Now, these satellites are just part of a worldwide satellite array of surveillance with the abilities that they can zoom right in. If you're sitting outside reading a paper or book, they can even zoom right in and see what you are reading. So this is the advanced technology that the dark, if you will, had. And as we can see, part of that is also being dismantled in this time, not only because of violation of human rights here on Earth, but universal violations of laws, human dignity, and of course sovereignty and the individual privacy. So Can you still hear me if I continue to answer your question, perhaps?
So, what I was asking, but my microphone was not working well. What I was asking, it was about this event, rapture event. And my question was, if millions of people that they are ascended at this time, they may move away in another space where they can live for 1 to 6 minutes only during the time that the people on earth will be living here on the linear time, like 1 year to 6 years. If so many people will be leaving the earth in a rapture event, so those that they are awake, what will happen if those that remain on earth? And what is happening with GPMS if GPMS is moving forward on the same way? If, for example, if you tomorrow you'll be not here and you'll be in a rapture event for a moment.
Well, I'm going to speak frankly, bluntly here, that the Earth is in a very serious situation at this time. And reality as humans think it is not as it seems. There are many layers and many more things that occur with creation itself. And let's say inside this present reality and also outside of it, God exists. And what we are dealing here with is also those that rejected God, and they know that God exists. And these are the dark ones that attempt to maintain suffering worldwide for humanity. So it's been quite a spiritual battle and a challenge to awaken ones to the higher truth so they can identify the actual darkness of the government networks and politicians and the beast system as a whole. And they uphold what we call the beast system of capitalism and artificial man-made laws. But it's because of this capitalism and artificial man-made laws that has caused great suffering on earth. There are human souls that have cried out for many years, cried out for divine justice. And with Divine-gpms.world, their prayers have been answered. Yet we see hesitation, prolonged hesitation. Thank you, Father. We see reluctance, and we see the inability for many human souls to recognize, even though there are many Christians and Islamic ones and all of the interfaiths upon the earth had knew this time would come. And it's as simple as keeping a choice. However, because of a lot of reluctance yet, and because there is a sense of urgency with Earth, there are things that may be decided divinely by Father God Himself. And this has been provisioned 2,000 years ago, at least, with the teachings of Brother Jesus. And what he said is no one knows the hour other than Father Himself. Now, I am directly connected to Father God, Prime Creator. So I am given information at times. And part of that information is that Father said to put out that he was anticipating a rapture event in May, and that possibility is still here. And having said that, in a rapture event, because reality is not what humans think it is, millions can be taken instantly by their own will and alignment with God to a higher version of Earth as well. It's a different parallel timeline, if you will, to keep it simple so ones can understand the grave uh, uncertainty, what's occurring here, but it's also because And truthfully and frankly, because of the people not deciding the most common sense solution to end the suffering. See what Father has said long ago with Jesus, where Jesus was unsuccessful in, let's say, bringing the world to civilization, it remained savage. And the problem back then was what Father told Brother Jesus is that humanity loves evil. And what he meant by that, what Father meant by humanity loves evil, is that they support the evil systems like the capitalistic system and the artificial systems of law. And you still have, even today, practiced in places worldwide blood sacrifice. These are from the days of Moses. These are old primitive days. When Jesus come, no, no longer did the laws of Moses um, were to be followed, and no longer the Pharisees, which were biased judges, if you will, and hypocrites, and they were the example of the artificial laws that you have today that causes humanity to suffer. So it has proliferated the evil from that time. But the problem is not the evil itself. When you look on Earth, it's perhaps less than a 0.05% of the population on Earth is the actual evil, the actual wicked ones. So if you want that in a number, there's about 2 million that are actual evil, dark ones that have been controlling and keeping the beast system intact with their governments and their politicians, known as puppets of the puppet masters, which are the dark ones that people don't even know are here and they don't see. This is the evil network. So, having said this, where you have about 2 million that are keeping the evil logistics worldwide ongoing and have been buying many souls to work for them, with these souls not even knowing the truth of the darkness. But some are, and more are, as you see the whistleblowers coming out of these dark establishments and giving the truth. So the problem is with the people themselves. They have the solution, the full solution, and we lost Sister Beatrice for a moment, and there she is back. All right. So the problem is actually with the people themselves. The people outnumber the darkness. And again, it's about the people not taking their power back because they never had it. It's about the people activating their power to do what is moral, what is right in this great time. And what has occurred over the last 2,000 years, but more predominantly the last century, what has occurred is more and more souls have been violated here on earth, but also universally violated. And because of this, this has allowed higher divine intervention to come into this world to rectify and advance humanity forward. And the divine instrument to do this is Divine-gpms.world. However, with a rapture, there are many of us divine ones that are here to assist and guide humanity into the new world. But there also comes a time for it really doesn't matter. I am immortal. I live for all time. So with it's not about my personal self. It's about this mission that God has given us and has given I to do here. But there also
I'm
comes
not
such a time
able
when many of
to
the divine ones began, when many when many of the divine ones began to incur much more prolonged suffering. This is when a decision needs to be made. Is it right for the divine ones that are here to guide humanity to consistently suffer because of humanity not making the right choices? And this becomes the debate, the divine debate, the discussion. So then, when we look at this, so when we look at the facts of what is occurring, then what Father has proposed was a rapture event because we're not constant in space or time. I am multidimensional as well as all of you on this panel. You have been, unbeknownst to you, prepared to go into another reality with your physical vessel intact. That is what this crystalline process is about. And many can attest to that, even ones of you on this panel that have the crystalline plasma nectar coming out of your physical vessel, which is unprecedented. It's because you're prepared to exist in a higher energetic reality where evil doesn't exist. But there is also that thing, the longer that we stay in this reality, because the people are not making the choices, the harder it becomes on our system as well. So you need to look at what is right. You can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink. So at what point do you give up on the horse? At what point do you give up on humanity? And this is the big question, and this is the dilemma. So, with this, what Father has said, a rapture effect could be a win win situation at taking things forward very quickly. And with a win win situation, when millions vanish, divine ones from this world, it's seen, it's documented, and it's recorded. And it has a huge impact on the rest of those worldwide that believe in God to do the right thing. So if this occurs, a rapture event, it gets very bad for those that are left behind. And they have to make very quick decisions in alignment with God, with a heaven on earth scenario at least. So the divine instrument is divine-gpms.world, which will be, if it needs to be, left behind if humanity is able to come together as one to get control over this reality before the darkness annihilates all. The darkness is going towards martial law because the darkness enforcement arm is the militaries. They control them. The darkness is going towards digital IDs and what have you, because they want to control everything. And this is the biggest threat that the people are awakening to. Yes, they are protesting it, but they're not seeing the simple solution in the great mass numbers yet that they should be able to see. So we are at such a pivotal point. How much more does humanity have to see before they know that it's actual evil that is in the governments, that is running these things, that is causing the suffering, the separation, the pain, the suppression, the enslavement, the oppression? We're at such a point. How much more do they need to see? And that question is, they have seen more than enough. So they need to make the choices and come forward. And they need to join with GPMS. Going back to your question about what you had said, we are not constant in space and time. And when your multidimensionality is activated as a divine one, it's your virtuous acts and deeds and doing everything that is morally correct and right, and being an overall good soul here is what activates your multi-dimensional abilities to transcend all space and time. Darkness or even souls with ill intent cannot transcend space and time. That's why the purity becomes so important. Now, time here on earth is linear time. That is much different than multidimensional time and time in other realities. So time differs in the different multidimensional layers. So, for example, in a rapture event, let's say if millions of us go forward, we may only be in that new Earth, that new timeline, for perhaps a few minutes, when some more that have made it from the lower timeline that were left behind make their right choices and they ascend to it as well. This is the overall planetary ascension. This is the weeding the goats from the sheep, the wheat from the chaff. And it's individually done by each one's, they judge themselves if they can go forward or not by their actions and by their deeds. And such a thing as sin, it does not exist, but it does exist at the same time. It does not exist because everyone is given the information to take it out of their existence by doing the right thing. But by ones that does wrong, sin does exist and it anchors them from going forward. So it needs to be understood that time differs in the reality. So if millions rapture, they might only be 6 minutes in a new raptured world where only 6 minutes has elapsed in that, while 2 years has played out in this linear time reality. And within that 2 years, let's say these ones that were left behind, they incurred martial law, conformity, enslavement, suffering, abuse, and all of this until these ones are able to do all of the right things and to trust in God and overcome the fear, then they are uplifted into the new reality. So the thing is, again, how much do we, the divine ones, need to stay here and endure this restrictions on freedom, restrictions on everything? For I, like many others, divine ones, are getting tired of this. And what's holding it back is not the divine ground crew that come here to change it. It's the people, the souls that are not making the decision and come in alignment with Divine-gpms.world to transition this reality rapidly. So the problem is not with the evil. The problem is not with God. The problem is with the masses of the people themselves at not making the right choice now. And again, the question is, how long do we stay here trying to, let's say, with an old caveman mentality, beating someone over the head with a club to make them see something? You cannot. Again, all we can do is give them the information and make it so easy for them that we gave them the choice, which is also common sense, it's practical, it's logical, it is it is lawful. So when you give this to a people and they still don't choose it, then you see that there is something more within the individuals themselves that they have not cleared. And this is their own condemnation. It is their own damnation that they choose by not doing the right things. So again, what I say to all, especially mothers, is to trust in God, be in alignment for the rapture, because if you don't go forward, you remain here in this world where it gets worse and worse. All of the moms, if they're resonating with what I'm saying and are in alignment with it, Your best course of action is to go forward, because by you going forward, it changes this reality here. If you stay within this reality expecting something different, you're not going to have it. It's going to get worse and worse. More children are going to vanish, more children are at risk, and every adult on this planet. So the individual choice has to be made. What do you want? A rapture, or do you want the accelerated ascension? So it becomes obvious where a rapture did not occur in May that most of the ground crew chose an accelerated ascension.
Yes.
And that's where we're at now. And that's why things are getting deeper and deeper with the negativity, because with more pressure put on the people, they are forced to make the divine choice that they need to choose the heaven on earth where there is no suffering. So they're being forced. But with this, where we're still here, things will feel denser and even become even more of a survival as well to some degree. However, with the divine ones that maintain their trust in God, they keep their frequency and vibration high enough that they reside on a higher layer of this reality, meaning that when you trust in God, you're also protecting yourself that the world could flood with 100-meter flood, but you would be miraculously positioned in a place above that destruction because you trust in God and you are of God and you know that. So then you're in a place above the civil unrest, the flooding, the destruction, and you become a witness and observer to that. And you watch as ones need to make their choices. So I rambled on quite a bit there, if that makes any sense. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Also, a question was if God can do everything, and this was the question. If God, I know that God can do everything, but this was the question. If God can do everything, and the people are basically ill because of the injection that started since 2020, and also the indoctrination of the education and everything. So we see around us a population that it is ill. Why God does not enforce on the people GPMS and is still to pass through the consent? So basically come tomorrow and say, anyway, you do not never choose the system that we have today, but then you do not need to choose GPMS because at this time you cannot see, you are indoctrinated, you are ill. And because I love you so much, I will give you GPMS now. Then you will experience GPMS for 1 year. And I will see what you are saying during this year. So it's like, let it happen, let GPMS to happen for 1 year, and probably by such a love, we can cure all the illnesses inside of the people rather than let them on this disaster, natural disaster and everything like we have today, and asking all the time for their consent and to rise up. So probably the healing process could be done via an implementation of GPMS is like tomorrow they wake up and they are in another system, and from there we start. Can we heal the people like that? Can this may happen? Can
See,
this may be an option?
no, no. With this, the people need to understand how they're looking at this. If they're looking at it from a human perspective, totally, that's where they begin to create the misconceptions. Then they don't know God and they don't know the big threat of the beast system here on Earth. You cannot have two masters. You cannot have divine GTMS and you cannot have the beast system operating simultaneously. There has to be the choice. And this is what Brother Jesus had said long ago. You cannot serve two masters. You need to make the choice. And that's also what is occurring. So the souls are the ones themselves, every individual soul that makes the choices, but also the main souls in a family, let's say a mother with two children, she is the guardian to make the choice for these children as well, to make the soul's choices, to put them into a safe environment and a heaven on earth scenario. So, no, Divine GPMS is the entire replacement system for humanity. It does not ask for authority from anything else, especially the B system. And it does not operate to buy souls. This is the important thing. The capitalistic B system buys souls into something that they don't know what it is. GPMS maintains its integrity by not buying souls, not enticing them, because the entire system worldwide has to be changed. And this is what Divine-gpms.world does. There is no competition nor comparing between the B system and Divine-gpms.world. It's not serving two masters, it's choosing either or. And once that choices are made from each individual, then the world separates, the bifurcation, whether that will be an accelerated ascension and many left behind, whether it be a rapture and some come later. These are things, these are questions that only the Father knows himself. And we are given the instructions here to civilize humanity. 12 or 12, 15, how many years ago? 13, approximately 13 linear years ago, humanity was 123 years behind where it should have been in conjunction with the rest of the universal and multi-universal beings. During that time, we are now only minutes away from bringing humanity up to speed, meaning that once the masses choose divine GPMS, then they are catapulted into a different reality where first contact with other races from outside of this universe and inside of this universe occurs. This advances humanity forward and it saves them from the clutches of the evil that reside in this lower density reality. So everything I said, this would go over the heads of many, and perhaps even many that think they're awakened. They would not realize the seriousness and the truth of what's occurring. And with ones, when they're awakened, if they don't let go of their ego, then they don't even know what they don't know yet. They don't know that it's more. And this is why I teach for everyone. Be objective. Know that truth changes. The higher that you raise up in your morality and in your consciousness, then you begin to see God. You begin to see the miracles. You begin to know that this reality is not what it was from a human perspective. And the more you trust in that, the more that you evolve. And your empathic abilities, your powers, your divine powers, your parapsychological abilities, your higher rationale and logic process, but we even go to a logic beyond human logic with when you enter the divine proportions. So getting back, if I answered your question, but again, humanity needs to know the seriousness of this time. How many more destructive natural forces do they need to see? how much more enslavement being enforced by the darkness upon them do they have to see? Humanity is the victim of their own demise when they don't realize that what governments are doing is wrong. It's that simple. Children today are even born knowing that. Why should one have to pay for a house? Why should one have to pay for drinking water? These are always all absurd things. It's absolutely ridiculous, but it's the capitalistic beast system of control and dominance and conformity. But we are in the great time where the prayers have been answered, but also there is that part where those that had asked for the prayers expected perhaps just a selfish answer where they would be put in a perfect world. But again, it doesn't work like that. If you are selfish, you get left behind. And this is also written. Those that try to go first go last. And that is so important because you need the compassion, the selflessness is an important part of your purity and your virtuous component to ascend yourself with your brothers and sisters. This is not a one man, one woman job here. This is the entire collective, shoulder to shoulder, to ascend humanity into a civilized form. And again, no, humanity right now is not civilized or anything but. They're savage with what they do and what they love and what they support. And that is the beast system and artificial laws. That is savage to control ones with money, if you will. So I don't need to go further into that. That becomes common sense and basic knowledge of how ridiculous it is. Thank you.
Yes, so what I wanted to say is that somebody working with military started to say about the QFS, the quantum financial system that was promoted years and years, that this quantum financial system is the true ID digital. So basically, this implementation may come on 2027, and from there, yes, we are in jail time on the ID digital time, where everything it is controlled. So basically, when the people believe that this is the freedom, and they are saying today, oh, the politician wants to install the ID digital, and they make protest and they reject that, and after that is coming a politician somewhere and saying no for digital ID. In reality, the people are waiting for the QFS, the quantum financial system, to come as liberation, when in reality in 2027, this quantum financial system that it is right now working in parallel with the actual system will start to fully work, and this is the jail time, this is the true ID digital. So this is the information that started to surface, to come out. And another one that even our video, photos and everything, so basically all the work done from the freedom will be put down, because we will not be able to access the MP4, MP3, or the format that we have today. Will be a new format of the video and everything, and there will be nothing that we can transfer, even the old video and photos, that basically we need to work again for everything. But even that we are working again will be not let through the QFS, through the financial system, to pass. So it'll
But
be a
may
very
may I
strong.
may I interrupt divinely for one moment? You know, everything you just said excludes God out of the picture. We know God is real, so why even entertain these dark narratives in this propaganda? Because it's dark deception and trickery to get ones to think that they have no power and that the
No,
darkness will
no,
take
it's not
their
about that.
identity from them.
No, it's not
So
about that. Especially I'm like honey on the hands right now. It is just to inform the population correctly that the QFS, it is B system still. It's not will be can run anytime the ID digital through. So this is the treat. And the one that is giving me this information said also that we have only maximum probably 2026 as year at our disposition. So it is about the 6 months and nothing more. So the people should realize that you are speaking of rapture event that it was possible to come even on May. So we are right now late on June. And the other information is coming that basically on 2027 will be not in the situation that we can speak free. So this was my huge concern because it is about the billion of soul that we may let on earth if people of some of us as million move forward in another dimension. And basically everything that will happen here, we have children here. So it's like nobody wants to have the humanity to see billion of people in this situation on jail time because of the uh, basically of the education that they follow through the system. So it's like I would say and GPMS was not even promoted like an advertise enough. So okay, my work this week, it was also to make other video and everything and to share cards, like 200 cards of GPMS. But how many people from there, they receive the cards, they may understand GPMS? Because it was groups and groups of freedom that they try to move in a direction, the people or something like. So right now, when they receive a card as GPMS, they may believe that we are just another group of freedom. So it is like the population is still not informed to the point to make the correct choice. This is what I said for years. So right now, under the pressure of rapture and let billion here on earth like that, for me it's a very hard thing because the population was not even informed enough. So GPMS was not, it is given to the humanity, but was not able to how can I say, to knock the door to every single door, was not able to do that until now. So we let the population here to experience the jail time with ID digital and everything, and they were not able informed about GPMS, many of them. So it's
Well,
like,
you know, GPMS has been put out worldwide, if you will, and many so-called enlightened divine teachers, prominent ones in these fields, were also given the information. So it's not it's you need to look at the false light component as well as individuals that were given the information and were also reluctant at sharing it. Over the course of the last 5 or 6 years, we're in 179 countries currently, 84 different indigenous sovereign denominations, and with this, look at our meeting here today. Only 4 of us on here. There should have been hundreds on here. All of these divine light ones that say they're light and that they're divine. Where are they? You don't see them here yet. And many of those are also prominent influencers that many follow. And if they would have did the divine instruction and give it to all of their followers, we would have had it already done. So where again does the blame go to? We have did the best with us at spreading it out there. So the blame does not lie with us. We have been consistent. We have been persistent. It is the choices by many of the individuals, which is sad because they did not share it when they were given this information. So, where do you want to debate this when really it becomes a waste of time? The best divine offensive is keep spreading the awareness. But what I say, there comes a point of where do we stop jeopardizing ourselves, if you will. So we're doing everything we can do for humanity, but there is that degree of divine responsibility by every soul that says they are of the light, every teacher, every channeler, what have you. These ones of the light are supposed to be Christ consciousness. Divine GPMS is Christ consciousness in its most simplest form. So there is no excuse for them not to recognize it and not to share and spread the awareness. The only excuse is with these individuals with their own fear and their own lower ego at not doing the right thing, not going in to the selflessness and their full trust in their self and God. They're still being controlled by the old system. Many of them have been bought, let's say, into complacency, where they turn divine teachings into something to into commerce, to profit off of, to give themselves a luxurious lifestyle at the expense, really, of all of those suffering and dying every day. In this capitalistic system, for everyone that profits off of another, if you will, it means that someone loses. That's how the capitalistic system works. It's a biased system. It's not fair. It's not equal. Yet ones get bought into that complacency of not doing the higher righteous things. But are we to suffer because they don't make the right choices? We have done our best with it. There was much darkness out there, many dark narratives that bought many souls just on false hope, not even money, but by giving them false hope and false direction to keep these souls in a place where they could constantly pillage the dense emotions, especially when they were giving the false hopes day after day, and none of it um, um, came to reality. I just lost my word, but came to fruition because they pillaged the energy, they pillaged the sadness, the hopelessness. That's what the dark system wants. It wants that negativity. The dark system wants fear, so it's spreading conformity, enslavement with military, even more upon reality to lower the vibration. These are the tactics of the darkness, and it becomes very difficult at times for ones to not succumb to that density and fear. And to keep it simple, trust in yourself, trust in God, keep in alignment with what is moral, what is right, what is virtuous, what is true. It's not true to have children suffer and die of starvation or be stolen in this world. What causes this non truth? It's the capitalistic system and the artificial man made laws that causes this. So then common sense becomes all right, we pinpoint the problem, so then let's do the solution. And that solution is divine-gpms.world. This is where it's logic, rationale, and common sense. But then again, you had so much psychological warfare at brainwashing ones, if you will, that we have been divinely working upon, bringing down satellites, if you will, like I mentioned earlier, and also disrupting their data centers and their internet framework that did these things. We know what's going on. I know what's going on. I am the immediate son of Prime Creator. I am also an admiral of the Galactic Fleet. I am also part of Divine Council, which is overseeing this full ascension. However, again, the problem is with the individual people, souls themselves, to make the choices. And let's just say, yes, Father God is all powerful, but if one is doing dark deeds or things that are not virtuous, your energetic field will not allow you to go into a heaven reality. That's why everyone is being purified here. They're being forced divinely to make the decision because the expense of so many souls is greater than this suffering that is here. The souls at the soul level, they all want a different reality, whether they know what it is yet or not. But they have chosen at a soul level for a planetary ascension. And those prayers have been answered. And this is how we're doing it by God. It's not being done by a human perspective that doesn't know that God does not exist. That is not even part of the equation. The majority of humanity knows that God exists. They are a light of God, meaning they are connected. But they need to very quickly overcome this fear here, and they need to unite and step up together. Thank you.
Yeah, so Lodi, how GPMS is seen in Filipina this time?
Thank you for this opportunity to share some updates on um right now as I am doing some review of the list that I have because last Sunday during our meeting I had finished the list that I have, and these remaining ones were just sent today because last week the picture of the list was so blurry that I requested the sister who sent it to me to repeat um taking the picture so I can see it clearer. So what I'm trying to say is for the whole week it seems that the brothers and sisters took the rest. They rested, and it's only today that I received the list to be encoded. So I don't know what's going on, what's happening. Uh, but thankfully, there's still some list that I am can register on the website by tomorrow.
Oh,
So we're
nice.
still on it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you so much, Lodi. And also the question for the Philippine, because some people are saying, okay, the number may come from there, but how much are the people awake to start to speak about GPMS in the area on this way, like leaders, free speakers, and everything? What it is the situation there? I believe that you shared a video like 1 year ago about many areas from the Philippines that they have like 3 or 5 each area. Individuals that they share the word of GPMS, more or less public in areas. So how the things are really coming from them? Are they public speakers or they speak to the community, or how the vote is gathering on this way?
I cannot say that they are public speakers, but the culture of Filipinos by community
Mhm,
through neighbors, uh news such as this about GPMS um spreads easily through the word of mouth.
mhm,
Lots of uh news or words with this kind of theme easily spreads around. But the thing is, as some are expecting that it is coming soon and it will easily help and relieve them from financial challenges. So
Mhm.
that's where the challenge, problem, but I don't see it as a problem. It's just that uh we are waiting for the divine timing, and some people cannot understand that we must do it faster and spread the word to make the divine plan possible at a speed that we are all expecting it to happen for everyone. So hopefully, those awakened ones, as they say, can really see that the solution is with us here in GPMS. We're still hoping for the implementation as soon as possible. We're very optimistic with that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, because this was another question about how the Philippines is gathering consents. So
Mhm.
it is based on culture there. Agnes, what is happening in Germany?
Hi, everyone. Um, I just can add that we had a protest about regarding health system.
Mhm.
So there will be less and less money for people.
Mhm.
Yeah, go to the doctor and get something done because the costs is for this are reducing and reducing, and so big theme still and was it still, but people go to the street, and also connected with this alternative medicine. They also want to cut this, and so there are so many signs from this direction that so everyone has parents and children which need maybe help now and also in the future. So the people can see more and more how the system works and doesn't work. Yeah. And also in one big city in Germany, there was the tap water was not clean, so you have to cook the water. So you have to buy water maybe also when you need it. So what Brother Rick said. So all these things coming up now at the moment, and yeah, they maybe have to be shown that the people see why, and we need the change. And so what also Sister Lodi said, I hope every second that Divine-gpms.world will come very soon for us all, and more people go to the page, read it, and consent. Yes, that's what I would add today. Thank
Yeah,
you. Very
thank you so much. Yes, so this is coming. It seems a little bit worldwide because I found this also in Romania. This news about the health system, and here also it is a problem with the program for the invalidity for the people from the invalidity. I try to reach also the lawyer there, so everyone and also people that they are part of this program, a lot of them. So they still have money for 1 year and a half, but there is a lot of concern there and a lot of problem inside. So basically, the system let the people to pass away, and I really do not agree with that. And I wish also for those that they see the actual video. I'm living in Canada, so please bring towards me the lawyers and also the people that they are inside of this program of invalidity program, and also any other program. And from there we'll start, because the actual legislation it's not working, and the actual politicians are doing nothing. So, and we move forward towards the QFS system, that it is not the freedom, the quantum financial system, it is in reality the hidden face of the ID digital. It is a jail time. So it is a little bit, I'm not saying it's not scary, we still have months, and GPMS might happen in a few weeks. So this should be not a problem if from today the leaders start to gather and they will make a step forward. So this is my message too. I see Eva here, Eva Mikos. I do not know if she's speaking English. Lodi, does she participate on English directly or all the time through you, or she's coming only to listen?
Yes, she's just here to listen. Even in the Philippines meeting, she doesn't participate.
No, yeah. Oh, so Rick is not here. I wish, but exactly to the point when I wanted to share the Facebook with the last public notice. I'm still on the meeting. Yes, so Rick is still here. Oh, he lost the microphone. So today we had so many internet problem everywhere. I saw also you, Agnes, that you disconnected, and I was not able to keep a meeting on Saturday with somebody from Kuwait. We wanted to meet each other, was not possible. My Facebook is down for 72 hours. Yes, we have Rick with microphone. Great. Then I will share the screen that we will be looking. Yes, Rick. Do you want to speak something before? Because I wanted to share the screen for the public notice, for the last public notice.
Hi, Sister Beatrice. Yeah, I popped out there. As I said, the internet is unstable. And what was your question? Or did you have a question for I?
No, if you have something to say, it will be just great to say that. And I wanted just to share the screen for the last public notice that you wrote. You posted this morning a public notice. Yeah, so really I now lost again the microphone. I'm waiting if he may come back with camera and the microphone too, because right now his mic it is disconnected. He's here via camera, but the mic, yes, the mic is here. So yes, Rick, do you wish to tell us something? Because I saw your hand.
All right. Yeah, internet was unstable here, so it's difficult for I at least to have a good fluent meeting today as a result. We're popping out, so I missed some of the things you were perhaps asking, but also I'll take the liberty once again just to say worldwide, the internet and social media sites, everything has been disrupted somewhat, and it looks like it's still ongoing. So we bear with it and do the best to our ability. Um, I wished just to, if you can you hear me fluently now? Do we have a
Yes.
good connection if I
Yes.
continue?
Yes. Yeah. So Rick is disconnected completely. Then I'll share the screen until he's coming back. Okay, we have another public notice. It is about the case of Nia with two children that the government took her children away from the mother. It is the public notice number 73. It is from acknowledge and request for protocol recording of public notice number 69 on April 13, 2026. Public notice number 69 title Final Notice of Default and Non-Compliance was received by the Austrian Court of Audit. The communication was transmitted through the office of the Austrian Court of Audit until the subject. So, because Ricky is not here, I wanted to know more what is happening with the children there, because this is the a very important case from where every parent in this world may start to know that GPMS is also for the children and it's also for the parents, and empower the parents to move forward through the court eventually if they have cases like that. There are many forts, there are so many in the world at this time, and this is also a way to empower the parents to know how to move through the system and to come together, and also for all the parents to start to be aware about GPMS, then we can come together as one. So, Rick, I do not know if you have a mic. Yes, you have a mic. So this is excellent. I just shared the screen about the public notice that you posted today, the number 73, that is making the reference for the 69. So what is happening there, or if you have something also else you want to tell us?
Oh, quickly, with that was just an information more or less update where Austria has defaulted on what was in 69. So this is more or less just the public documentation of that. And also there has been no replies from all of the levels of Austria in worldwide where all of this was sent. Um, so
It is again an interruption because of the internet. Okay, so I do not know when Rick may speak because he's frozen right now. So everything there, it's frozen. This is the internet coming from Romania. Rick is not here anymore with us. He's coming back. Only camera now. I hope for the mic. The mic, it's right now okay. Yes, Rick.
Oh, all right, I'm back, but my internet here is very unstable. Perhaps we're rapturing and it's difficult for all of us to stay in the lower reality. Basically, it's just a updated public notice, just informing the public that, let's say, there's been no real acknowledgement of what we've done so far, but it's to show that at least the system had to accept what we had into 69 into their system. So this is a serious default. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So that's basically it's a simple one, but with transparency and informing the public of this important process as we go forward, it handcuffs all of Austria, as you can see, but not only Austria, the other
Yeah. So again, Rick lost the microphone. Right now is back. Your mic is back.
yeah, but the other organizations worldwide that are supposed to uphold law and represent the people. So I'll just keep that simple. Um, so also just going to another topic, if I may, while I'm on here. Our membership website will be just for GPMS members. It's a private for just GPMS members. It's not a public website. We're still working on that. I anticipate whenever Nya can get one more day to work at it, that we'll have it up. But we're also saying that for the members here, we may need to have a private meeting on this as well. Probably before we go live with it for our members. Also, having said this, I'm so grateful for Sister Lodi and our Philippine indigenous brothers and sisters. And also, it's so beautiful to see more, I believe, two different indigenous nations Nya had shared with me had come in this week. And what is beautiful with this is a lot of them do not have birth dates because they do not record this. But what I need to say is the encroachment by governments at forcing ones to be ready.
Yeah, Rick. So Rick, he's speaking from Romania and he's again frozen. The internet is frozen there. Ah, we lost Rick again. I hope that he will come back. So the meeting of today, it is like it is, and really I believe on Saturday when I saw that there was no communication, I I was prepared for a meeting, for Romania meeting, and was not communication suddenly. I said, "Oh my God, what is happening?" And after that, I saw my Facebook down. And right now, I see the meeting on Sunday. Yeah, so this is coming more and more. It's critical. And as I said before, the QFS system, the quantum financial system that the people are waiting for liberation, it is in reality a trap of the ID digital jail time. So I really hope that the people will choose finally GPMS, then we can move forward together. We still have time to do that. And I see also a lot of people preoccupied for communities and everything else, but no, GPMS it is the best solution. So from there, they cannot really succeed via the system. We know that, we spoke about that. So we need GPMS to happen.
Hi, Sister Beatrice. What I suggest is I'll refrain from speaking and please carry on the meeting and I'll sit here. Thank you.
Yeah, we have also Aziz coming. He's from India. Hi, Aziz. Aziz, as I know, he has a barrier language as English, but he's speaking a little bit. Hi, Aziz. Still not a translation for him. Okay, it was very interesting to know more detail about what is happening with the Nia case and everything. Unfortunately, it's we cannot because of the internet situation. I wish also to play a small video for only a few minutes about GPMS. So it is information about GPMS on this video, and I wish for all the people to hear that. I will get back again just to be sure that the sound will be on the good way. It's stereo, and I hope that this will be working.
Let me explain something very simple that most people have not yet seen clearly. Divine-gpms.world is a worldwide vote, and it works exactly the way you already understand voting works. Everyone knows that when the majority of people agree on something, that becomes the direction. GPMS uses that same principle, but in its pure form. This is not a political vote. This is not about choosing leaders. This is individual consent. Each soul who joins GPMS is making a clear agreement. They are choosing a system based on goodness, fairness, and the well-being of all. Now here's the key. Each consent is real. It is binding. It is not symbolic. It is a lawful agreement made by the individual. And as more people give their consent, those agreements accumulate. When the majority is reached, it becomes self-executing, because the people themselves have already chosen it. No permission needed, no higher authority required. The majority decision is the authority. This is how GPMS activates. Not through force, not through protest, not through waiting, but through clear, willing choice. And when that majority stands, the old systems, controlled-based governments, pressure-based monetary systems, are no longer needed because the people have already chosen something better. So GPMS is simple. It's a worldwide vote of the people. Each soul's consent is a real agreement. And when the majority agrees, the new system is already in place. The only question is, when enough people choose to see it clearly. GPMS is a worldwide vote. Each consent is binding. The majority is the authority. These are the anchor points. Let me explain something very simple that most people have not yet seen clearly.
Okay, so I truly believe that it is more clear right now what it is GPMS. We have with us also Xiaomi coming. Oh, Rick. So Rick, probably right now your internet may function better. You are inside of the room or outside.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I have I'm on the phone now, so I tried this. It appears I have a better connection. But with the computer it says unable to find the Zoom. So, but I'm operating from the phone. So yeah, so what you just had up is another example of another from Austria, Sister Tanya, that has did that recording. Sister Agnes here, she is also doing a personalized one, at least, which is great. So we get these put on the website. And also for ones, there are also media resources that can be shared. So these are simple statements as well to help the public to see. Um, so it's cut out many times, unstable connection on the computer, but our membership website, we anticipate, or I anticipate very soon, as I mentioned, and I was speaking about the indigenous groups with Sister Lodi in the Philippines. There's some of these indigenous nations that they don't record their birth. And it was interesting that we still accept these in, and we have provision that for all. But what is interesting is the government, if you will, in the Philippines, but like this worldwide, they attempt to force ones to register, with the government so they could control. And this is an encroachment, but also an infringement upon um, the human dignity and human sovereignty. But having said this, it is great to see these nations knowing the real threat of the existing world out there on their culture, their heritage, on their sovereignty, that they are standing up as well. So it's very beautiful for I to see this as that indicator uh, that is occurring. So I'm very grateful for that. Sister Beatrice, I believe you were saying, I don't know if you shared it in the meeting yet, but you're going to start radio broadcasting as well. This is very exciting and very good. And what I suggest, if you wish to share with the audience, that I and other guardians, if you wish to invite us on there to talk about it, that would be a very good tool. But I'll
Yes.
stop there. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so basically, what I was working this week, it was also with Cătălin Cernescu. He's a doctor in Kuwait, a military doctor, and also he's a very good specialist in IT. And uh, we started to meet together for Romania to bring up in Romania the information about GPMS and also about the self-determination. And he has already set up a radio with TV and broadcast in many platforms and everything. And then I had more the taste of doing only specific GPMS. Then I said, anyway, I'll set up one for GPMS too. So this is part of my working, so it's not mine. It is only my name there. It's somebody that needs to understand how this function and to play video. But basically, the video are GPMS video, and even that I will be speaking more for Romania people and everything because I really try I hope that I cannot see in Canada, in the United States at this time, what it is already formed in Romania. So in Romania already, there are a couple of leaders that they know about self-determination. So the work with you, Rick, it was done since 2022 there. Then this information already started to penetrate, and others also took this information, and they were working on some groups and everything. And they are a little bit like interrelated already. So there is already a communication about the self-determination. And it is a short number, like only a couple of million, like maximum 6 million of people or something like. If they pop up from there, then all area, it is like 50% GPMS. So this is the reason that I said it is very important to be like a link that everybody, as I understood from Cătălin Cernescu, everybody can share, can have the link on the cell phone and just to access the link, and then from there, even that they drive, I'm not saying during the driving time, but for example, if they sit somewhere or they can access through the cell phone, so it's not necessary to have even a computer to listen messages, and they can interact with us, and if they are in the correct direction for GPMS, then let the voice of the people also to speak out. So basically will be content GPMS, 100% content GPMS. For me, it's not a problem to make your Facebook and Telegram account on short audios with speakers like English language and everything. This will be not a problem, but there are all the time short one. So basically, as Cătălin said, the radio station needs to be minimum 2 hours per day. So we will need more and more people to speak out and also to come from all corner of the world and try to make content. And this will be content GPMS. It's not, so it's only me that I am putting the work for. It's not mine. Nothing is mine. In reality, when I met GPMS, after a short period of time, I changed all my Freedom accounts and everything into GPMS. So it's nothing mine. I own nothing, and I do not need that. So it is open just to be on the correct direction, nothing else. It is open for everyone, and especially Rick, for sure, 100%. It's the message of Rick George will be there and will be also translated directly in Romania for the people to hear also Rick George. So I met with Cătălin on Thursday, and we needed to meet also on Saturday. Saturday, I do not know what happened. We spoke many hours. We tried to find if we can run in parallel to system and everything. I propose also to the other one, to Petrica Picui, to think a little bit about. I will make probably a meeting soon with them. But how can I say, it is more ways to spread the word and to have access quickly, even on your cell phone or something like. So do not wait for the Sunday meeting or in this direction. So basically to have some every day, if you want to hear something about GPMS, to be every day there. So as you said, everything that will be for only members, then I cannot share because this is public. But if you are telling me do this public, then I'll be doing so. Will be just inserted. Will be just more work to be done, but we hope that this may gather also people around GPMS. So yeah, my work, it was a little bit yesterday. After that, I was going door to door, and today will continue because I need to make some setups there. Yeah, so it is for everyone. It's not, and if somebody believes that can play better than me, can come exactly on and work through. So it's nothing. So basically everything that to be clear enough, for every single word that I share on the Freedom, it is for GPMS or in GPMS direction. Even the small account discrimination, blah, 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 it is to show the people the actual real news that I pick up from them and to see what the politicians are doing. So it's no politics. So I'm doing nothing for myself for zero. It's zero. So GPMS can take over in time. And for the Rapture event, yes, I'm so sorry to say that, Rick, I prefer the accelerated version for all the people to be saved. Even that we suffer here. Yes, I prefer that. And really, I also have a child, and I wish to come with me if the Rapture events happen, but my first option, it is accelerated version of GPMS to happen for Earth. So I really wish to experience GPMS system for everyone. If I answer to your question, yes, Rick.
Yes, thank you, Sister Beatrice. You know, one thing I hear that comes up sometimes is one say, that why not have GPMS working so that the people can see it to prove that it works. But with this, with any political parties worldwide in any government system, the people vote for them and they see later if it works or not. And of course, with any political system, with any voting process, that's why a voting process occurs to vote in the best what people feels. So it's not that it's enacted first. The people have to trust enough to vote for it. If they don't trust it, it doesn't work. So when they say, you know, activate GPMS, then we'll trust it, that becomes nonsense to this current world. Let me say, yes, it's very possible with God, but we need to look at what we are doing here. We are lawfully bringing the replacement system into worldwide law. So it's the people need to trust and need to choose that. You don't do it first and everyone jump on board, because the existing system has to fold. And the only way the existing beast system folds is that it's outvoted, it's outnumbered. And this is the procedure again. So people need to realize when they say, show me the proof, have you ever been shown the proof by anything you voted for before, included politicians? No, you were not. You saw platform promises and you had to trust enough to vote for it. And that's what GPMS is like. And it's what it's doing. But because it's serious and because it's lawful and in changing the entire world, it has to be supported by the majority of the people. So, no, you're not having two different systems. And any parallel monetary system, no matter if it's crypto or whatever, it is not a full sovereign parallel system. It cannot be when it resides on the internet that the beast system operates and controls. So GPMS is fully disciplined and prudent to the respect to put the lawful ownership of the internet and the financial distribution system worldwide into the people's hands. And that's what this is about. You're not just electing another party here on earth. You are electing a whole new system that uplifts everyone. And so you don't think that it occurs and then you choose it later. That's not how it's working. So, yes, God, with everything is possible with God, that those, let's say, are in alignment with it, can be put into another world, because reality and creation is not as it seems to humanity, but you have to trust it enough. And that trust then becomes the alignment. And we've made it easy For humanity, logic and common sense, majority rules. So what happens when a majority worldwide choose an abundant free replacement system? Well, what happens? Nothing can stop it. It's inevitable. The only thing is, how long does it take for the people to see the simplicity and get it done? How many more children needs to starve worldwide? How many more need to die of serious health issues that they cannot afford it before the people see that the current beast system is the actual problem and that it has to be replaced? It has to be replaced by a compassionate, humane, civilized system, which is Divine-gpms.world. Thank you.
Okay, what I wish to say a little bit also from the discussion, a long discussion with Cătălin Cernescu. We recognize, so we are not putting all the problems and the liberation only on the shoulder of the native Indians. It is about the 90% of the worldwide population. This 90% of the worldwide population, as Kathleen is saying, they have a sort of education inside of the system, through the system. So basically, how they program us, we have a programming that he recognizes. And this is the reason that Cătălin Cernescu proposed 100 video for the self-determination in Romanian language that I have to work on. And basically to make another programmation for the DNA to program the people in the way to be able to start to recognize, to remember the self-determination inside of them, then they may pop up even like a revolution, as he's saying, a sort of revolution coming from inside out. So this is a work to be done basically to deprogram from the actual system and to program the DNA in order to remember the self-determination. This is a huge work. I said yes on the Thursday meeting, but it is a huge work. I recognize that. And this is the reason that I'm saying, yes, I do understand this evil coming even with the QFS in 2027, but if our sister and brothers from the other planets can help us again with intervention directly on the system and put down the QFS, this kind of 5D digital, then let us still to work through the system here. Because this programmation was extremely strong, then we will be working to deprogram the people from the actual system and program the ADN to start to remember the self-determination. This is the most important because this empower the people other than the consent. This really empower the people and this creates voices. And I'm not here to speak only, how can I say, I'm not here to, if tomorrow we have 100 or even a couple of them that they are speaking better than me, I can just play their video. For me, it's enough. So I will be not doing even the work to start to speak. I'm not the one to take the faces like. I'm here to help. It's very, very different. But exactly as Kathleen said, through us, through some of us, still at this time, it is necessary a work to program the people to remember the self-determination. And this will create a revolution from the inside out, because moving the people away from the planet, a couple of million, the light people, that they were able to ascend, and let all others here, this may not help because they will do not really find the self-determination in real time, and many will pass away. Through us, we will still be here. Yes, we'll suffer. Yes, we understand. But at the same time, by the end, we can recuperate more billion of people on Earth by the end, their body, than in the other version. So this was my thinking. And this is the reason that my choice until now was still GPMS. If you hear on the same way, accelerated version, and just to be helped to get rid of this ID digital prison, then we may be able to work through something bigger through this programmation. We are still working, we are working full through GPMS, but basically to extend that, to be working even outside of the weekly public meetings of GPMS. So I do not know, just having a shelter and food and some natural products when we need them as medicine should be enough. I think so. We do not require, or if not, for some of us to be able to start some vertical food gardening and everything to help others. Things like that. So we do not need too much. Yeah, so it seems that you try to get in another internet. So Rick George tried to get in another internet. I think he's coming twice. Yes,
Oh, yes, I got back on this one. It looks like it's working better now, at least. The Facebook Live continued, so that is great. And yeah, again, we've made it so simple that ones do not need to be taught. It's a simple choice that can take as little as 3 seconds, perhaps, with an auto scroll filling in their consent. So and ideally, again, there should have been more teachers teaching the people. That's what we're about, but we see them absent. I mean, self-determination is simply said in a couple sentences. It is the individual's choice how they wish to be governed by the current network of governments and politics or their self with administrations that gives full abundance and freedom. And it's because of the right of self-determination that exists on Earth. That's why GPMS is lawful, that you exercise that right and choose what is humane for not only yourself, all humanity. So, what is there really to teach? Here is the new system, provides abundance, prosperity, sovereignty, the solutions for everything. What more do you need to know? It's given simply to you. You just need to choose it. So that's why we say, for one, you don't need to complicate this. If you want this new free and abundant world, take 3 minutes and choose it and consent with it. We would not be offering this worldwide to the people if we did not have all of the mechanics and dynamics and skill set of how it works and how it's easily applied and money distributed within 24 hours. We do not fool the people or the public. This is serious, it's lawful, it's logical, it's common sense. People don't need to be taught about a simple choice such as this. The numbers worldwide with civil unrest, they know that things are wrong. They're protesting against the governments. The governments are never going to give the people what they want. If the governments were, you would not be in this situation. The governments would have been proper representatives of the people working in the public's best interest. It is clear that they are not. How much more proof Do they need to see that the current worldwide system of politics and governments is corrupt, how the capitalistic system is corrupt? So how much more do you need to teach them? It's all been said. It's a simple choice. We know what we're doing. We're offering the choice to the people to ratify it into worldwide law, to end all suffering, all poverty, all enslavement. It's that simple.
Yes, so basically, how the learning was done on the actual system. It was done by repetition. It was done by repetition until we learn definition. So basically, to repeat the same thing again and again and again, and have also the IT power with us to make this repetition in many places and many times. This will come in a sort of programming the ADN, the DNA to remember self-determination. So this is the choice of Katalin, that he's doctor. So basically, a sort of repetition. I do understand we do not, if we need to say for 1 million time, this will be not a problem. We'll say just again and again and again until this start to appear in many places and many times, so many times. Then the people hear and hear again and again and again and again until they start to react, because the hearing versus reaction is coming through the cellular level. So when they start to program their DNA and they hear and hear and hear again, they remain on the same frequency, and this will help them to remember and to start to act, to react. Voluntary reaction from inside to outside. So this is a huge work to be done, but anyway, I am ready. So this is why the idea of the radio station and everything is coming out. And I'm saying, if I need to be working only behind, for me it's fine. So I do not need to play all the time my face everywhere. It's not about that. But if I need, if the people needs speakers right now, yes, for sure, I'm coming as speaker too. From any way. So here it is like, do everything possible and still keep the accelerated extension in place. And if we can remove a little bit in time, the ID digital prison to have help on that. Maybe by the end, we can choose not only a couple of million like we have right now, but we may have the version of GPMS on this earth with billion of people soul on their body. Maybe it's still an option. It is my preference also. Yeah, so we are already on almost 2 hours. If someone needs something to add for the actual meeting.
Oh, I believe I'm pretty well done. The internet's working here fine now, so that
Yeah,
is good.
by the end of the
We
meeting, this is the result.
Yeah. However, I'm not sure how fluid this meeting went. Perhaps it went good for others. So, yeah, so we had this out, and again, I had anticipated, years ago with GPMS that it would have been just so simple. We give it to humanity as a simple choice, but then they tend to put ands, ifs, and buts in and complicate things, even though it's given intricately the whole thing and very simple. All right, do you choose it? And simply, many cannot even make the choice to do what is right. And that's what it boils down to. You don't need to teach people. No, the morality is already in them. I've heard young children say, why do you have to pay for a house? Why do you have to pay for a driver's license? Why do you have to have these tests? It's all absurd. Why do you got to keep working for money to live? These are all absurd things that children even know. But what you do is you enter the conditioning with the human consciousness that, they have acclimatized and adapted to a survival rather than their freedom. And even though the freedom is given to them, as I said, GPMS is a lifetime lottery, and still the people don't want it. They'd rather suffer. And that's where it gets preposterous and it defies sense at all, let alone common sense. It defies sense. And that's when it goes into the nonsensical proportions, especially with any adult. With any adult, a majority rules. How simple is that? And that is the simplicity of it. But ones will tend to, in the past, complicate things. So, having said that, I'm good for today with this, and let's see what occurs. Hold it. If I may, Sister Beatrice, a couple things I did a check with. Let me just read this off quickly, please. So these are 5 simple observations at this time. Wars continue, creating economic pressure far beyond the battlefield. So, what this means is worldwide, the peoples are continuing to allow wars to continue by not choosing GPMS. Fuel and food costs remain a major driver of public dissatisfaction. Again, you'll see many complaining, but you will not see them take yet 3 minutes to consent with the full solution that all of their fuel and food becomes free. Then we have civil unrest is increasing in scattered pockets worldwide rather than one single global movement. And this is where it becomes preposterous because all of these protesting ones, they're on the internet. And when you give them divine GPMS, they continue with their aggressive ways, which is nonsensical, protesting against a government. And we have public trust in institutions continue to decline. Yes, it does. And again, the people need to trust themselves and need to trust the solution of divine GPMS. So, number 5 of simple observation, humanity appears increasingly receptive to discussions about alternative governance, economics, and peaceful solutions because many people recognize the current trajectory is unstable. And that's where we're at now. They are looking and are seeking, and rightfully so, they should be able to see divine-gpms.world so much more easier now. And what I will put, GPMS is presented not as a management system for the existing problems, but as a replacement framework designed to remove the structural incentives and mechanisms of the capitalistic system that generate war, poverty, debt, inflation, economic exploitation, and institutional coercion at their source. So what GPMS does, it eradicates the entire source of the problem. And again, the beauty with GPMS is that the people are the actual administrators of it. All of these leaders you see out there protesting, they all should have GPMS right in their hands, giving it to the people, saying, "Hey, people, we don't need to protest and fight. We just need to unite. Here's the new system." And in one fell swoop, we just replace all of the problems with the full solution. GPMS is inevitable, and it is the full solution. And again, the people just need to choose the solution instead of running like dogs around in circles, chasing your own tail, looping in the same old thing on Earth that has occurred for uh, centuries, if not thousands of years. The solution is here. Why keep doing the same old thing year after year, protesting against the governments? This is the insanity. Again, I believe her name was Helen Brown, and then Einstein adopted her quote. It actually originated from a feminine that was very intelligent. Then Einstein used it. The definition of insanity is doing the same old thing over and over, expecting a different outcome. That is the definition of insanity. The definition of sanity is divine-gpms.world. It's unprecedented. It's the full solution. It is the same humane solution. So, once again, do we have a bunch of insane people out there? Do we have a lot of psychopaths? No, not really. The people just don't know that their greatest gift is right at their fingertips, the greatest solution, and it's only a choice away, and to unite with each other. So any protesting, let's say in Ireland or wherever, those leaders need to have Divine-gpms.world in their hands because it's the ultimate and full solution that they're looking for. The people can govern themselves, administrate themselves, and GPMS provides that full security to do so. Everyone is paid equally, everyone is volunteering. Some love to be in a place to provide whatever humanity needs. Can you imagine that? If you're part of an administration committee worldwide that at your fingertips you have unlimited instant money and resources to make all of the people and children happy, everyone with joy. Imagine how good that feels rather than going on to a street and trying to come up with a different strategy on how to fight the problem rather than solving the problem with Divine-gpms.world. And again, if governments or politics were in your best interest, you would not be in the situation you're in now. So it becomes obvious that governments and politics are not the solution, that you need to do something else. And what you need to do is divine-gpms.world. So with that, I say love, light, and gratitude to everyone, unless someone else has something to say, and I'll close this down shortly.
Yeah, so we do not have question at this time on your Facebook. Thank you so much for everyone that shared the word of GPMS and also collaborated for this meeting. And please share this meeting, but never forget your voice is the most important. So speaking about GPMS is probably much more important to become representative or guardian of GPMS than just share a video. Thank you so much for everyone that is listening, and see you soon, like next week. And Rick, please don't disappear. Remain here with the solution of GPMS. We need all million with us here and make GPMS to happen for this world right now for billion of people. Thank you so much to everyone.
Well, yes, sister. this is the mission for Earth. So let's say those that go forward, yeah, we can go right into that complete world. What I'm looking at here is because I had to come back in on a different area from Zoom. I'm looking at how to shut this down. Are you now the host, sister? Maybe that's what happened, is it? To shut down the Facebook?
Yes, yes, it is me. It is me, the host here.
You-
But to
All
shut
right.
down the Facebook, I have to see first the record and also probably the live stream.